Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Whatever time you're joining me today, I'm so glad you're here. I thought I would do just a peaceful. Have you been in my house and have you met Devil Dog? Ella, are you jealous? They're your friends too. Do you mind? Do you need an activity? Yeah? Hold on. I just sat down again and I'm like, well, where did I put my tea? Girl. All right, well, I'll be right back again. Okay, I found my tea and little Miss Ella Bella here has her little rawhide chew, so we should be good to go. I thought in the car that it would be nice to just do a little week check-in. No fuss or anything, just tell you guys how my week has been and what's been going on. So if you'd like to listen, I'm glad to have you here, and let's get into it. So this first, I'll call it my first official weekend of the new year because I kind of felt disheveled and all over the place when it came to that first week of the year with my kiddo being sick. He ended up having pneumonia. I had no idea, but we were just worried about him. And just fatigue from work, from the holidays. It was layered. I started my monthly visit. I call it Shark Week. It was just a lot, and it was really kind of making it difficult for me to really hone in on my New Year resolutions. I knew what I wanted. I shared them. But it was just really hard to execute because I just felt like there was too many other things going on and I needed a reset. So in that first week or so, I was resetting myself. I was recovering. My kid was recovering. I was being a mom, all the things. And as the second week rolled in, I really just thought about things. And I want to say, I really feel like church is doing me a lot of good. Sometimes I go to church and we're singing the songs, and the lyrics can be a little hard to follow because they're using that old biblical terminology, and I'm like, what is this sentence even saying? But sometimes that doesn't even matter. Same goes with some of the stories. When they get into the stories, I have a hard time in the moment understanding what I'm hearing and applying things, but I am finding myself when I leave church curious about music and finding it on my YouTube and getting songs stuck in my head. Maybe not understanding the full lyrics, but the choruses I usually get stuck in my head and I want to hear more of that song, or I really keep thinking about, what they talked about in church. And it's almost like the more that I think about it, the more that I understand and I take away from it. And it's been doing me a lot of good. Something in the Bible that they talk about is that day of rest. And I'm kind of applying that this year and seeing how it goes. And I tried it this last weekend and it was amazing. So what I did was I crammed all of my weekend chores into Saturday, because for me, I don't usually have a whole lot going on the weekends. Sometimes we do. I mean, we have family events, or we might do a vacation thing or just something. But for the most part, we're pretty free Saturday and Sunday. So I was like, okay, what if I cram all of my chores into Saturday and then use Sunday as my day of rest? What would that be like? So I put it to work this last Saturday. I made myself a big to-do list, no excuses. I knew that if I got everything on that list done, my mind would be open to the idea of rest in a whole nother way. My husband even commented to me over the weekend. He's like, oh, I can pick things up and drop them throughout the weekend, but the way that my mind works, I get anxiety when I have to-dos. Well, I shouldn't say anxiety. I just get layer of stress that overwhelms me when I know I have things I should be doing. And that really intercepts my ability to rest. It really intercepts my ability to be creative And I was like, the only solution I have is to really resolve the important things on Saturday. So I used that Saturday to get my oldest his haircut done. My youngest has been needing shoes. I got the laundry done. I got dishes done. I got meal planning. I went grocery shopping, like all the big things. My kitchen was clean. So that way when Sunday rolled around, I didn't have anything to think about. And it was funny too, because on Saturday it was like, I don't know, 5 o'clock, and my husband goes, Rosie, our oldest dog, is out of food. And I'm like, you're telling me that I need to get dog food tomorrow's my day of rest. So I went to the dog store that evening and I got the dog food. He could have done it. Trust me, he could have. But like in general, I take on those things. So I got it done. And then Sunday came, you guys, and I went to church. I felt rested. I took flowers. You guys, if it's not one thing, it's another. My phone's like, your storage is full. So I had to go through and delete a few things so we can finish this conversation. Oh my goodness. I was talking to Sunday. I was able to eat lunch with my mom. And then when I came home, I did like just creative bits. I worked on my junk journal and I finally added like when we went to Disneyland. I finished out the page for when my dog Chewy passed away. Well, I technically still want to write something in there, but I set up the page. There are random little bits around my art area that I needed to just kind of declutter and go through, and it just felt amazing because I didn't have anything else weighing on my mind that I needed to do, like this was my time, and it was beautiful and wonderful, and I loved it so much that I want to do it again. Then I wanted to get back into making meals for my family. I had periodically stopped because I was like, listen, I'm doing too much. I'm overstimulated. I'm overwhelmed. And I want to get back to going to the gym. So my solution in that time was us to do factor meals. And when you're doing factor meals for your entire family, it's expensive. Like we're talking 300 plus expensive, especially when you still have to buy snacks and you still have to buy things for the weekend. You still have to figure out breakfast. Like it's not everything included. Not only that, but about 4 or 5 meals into doing the plan, my youngest was like, I don't like these. My oldest didn't want to do it after the first week. He's like, I'll just make my own food. And then I felt like he wasn't eating nutritious food. Well, hello. Did you already eat your whole rawhide? Ma'am! How is that possible? She's crazy. 1 second. I just let her out because I don't want her to go to the bathroom in here because sometimes, for whatever reason, she's like, I'm just going to go to the bathroom in here. But I have the door shut because my teenager's home. His stomach hurts and I'm trying to like make it quieter for him. Oh my word. And she's upset that she's outside that door. She's crying about it. Do you guys hear her? So what I was getting to was that the factor meal planning wasn't working out for me, and that's okay. It's something I tried. Man, I'm going to put you back in your crate. And that's not going to be very fun for you. But you're being too mouthy. Factor wasn't working, and so I was like, all right, what am I going to do? How am I going to make this work where I can go to the gym and make meals and not feel so overwhelmed? So I told my family I needed help. And I've been getting it, and it has made a world of difference. For instance, my husband is cleaning the kitchen after I make dinner. And that's so nice because I'm not overwhelmed going to bed. I'm not overwhelmed waking up because my kitchen is like one of the first things I see. I make coffee in the morning and it's not a mess. So that has been huge for me. And the boys have been rotating, vacuuming the floors in the house. And that's been huge for me because it's just one of those things you notice walking around in a house, especially barefoot, when your floors aren't clean. And So they're not like doing deep cleaning, they're just running it over the floors for me. And it makes me feel better with her in the house, because she's a little monster and she's curious about everything, and I gotta keep it safe for her. So having them roll the vacuum around just kind of helps the idea of keeping the floors picked up. And it's just been incredibly helpful. And I talked to the boys too about doing their own laundry, because I would find myself fatigued over the weekend doing everybody's laundry, and then I'd go into their rooms and their hampers would just be spilling out with clothes. So that would be another another 1 to 2 loads of Ella, if you need to go outside, go outside. Thank you. Go outside. Go outside. She's making me nervous with all her sniffing. So I would get through like a day's worth of clothes just between what was piled up in the garage and then what was all over the floor in my bedroom. And then I would see the kids' hampers just overflowing, and I would be overwhelmed because that would be a load plus. And not only is it washing it and drying it, it's folding it, putting it away. And at that point, I'm just like, done. And so I told them, I want you guys to wash, dry, and put away your own laundry. It's a lifelong skill anyways, and it's just something that I don't want to be responsible for anymore. So Finley already did it one time with my help, of course. He's 9, and I expect to help him probably 4 or 5 more times for him to get the hang of it. But just knowing that that is something that I'm passing off and passing over, it's relieving to me. And I've been able to keep up on other things, like just continuing to do laundry throughout the week. I just feel less overwhelmed. I've been able to like wipe down surfaces a little bit more just because I'm more aware, and I just don't feel overstimulated anymore. And it's been a really, really good week. So I would say that between communicating with my family and having a day of rest, it's really helping me balance my home and self-care life, because I feel like overall I have a good work-home balance, but that home self-care has always been blurred and difficult for me to navigate, and I'm executing things this year that's working out really well. For meal planning, I feel like I figured it out, but we'll see how it goes. So instead of meal planning for an entire week, sometimes that sets me up for failure. And the reason is because sometimes I have a really bad day at work. I work in a supervisor role over social services, and so sometimes it can be really draining. The day can, depending on how many escalated situations I dealt with, or if I had a very tedious report that I worked through and it just exhausted me. Sometimes that makes it really hard for me to be into making dinner, and I just want to bring it home, and sometimes I do. Therefore, food waste happens, and that hurts us in the budget. It's food waste. It makes me feel bad, and so I'm splitting my meal planning up, and the way that I have it navigated for myself now is Saturdays on my chore day. When I wake up in the morning, I'm making sure to meal plan for Saturday night, Sunday night, Monday, and Tuesday. So only 4 days. And the reason I'm doing that is, let's say I have a bad Monday, it's easy for me to shift that food and not worry about it going bad just an extra day. And I can go get food if I want to. It also allows me to have a conversation with my family, like, do we want to go out to eat as a family this weekend? Or, maybe I'll just buy 3 meals. It just makes it less planned out so far ahead, and I like that. So then on Wednesdays, so actually it would be Tuesday night. Tuesday night, I meal plan for Thursday, Friday. Wednesday is a bring food home day. It's the day that I'm not going to the gym. I have a gym routine too that I can tell you guys about, but I go to the gym and I can get food, or we can order pizza. That's what we did this last week, and it was so nice. I had the evening to enjoy catching up on a show with my husband, and that was really good quality time we needed in the middle of the week. So far, like, my planning of my work, life, and self-care balance is kind of aligning for me. And I just feel like blessed and so happy about that. And I want to keep it going and sharing with you guys how successful it is. My gym routine, just so you know, is I'm planning to go Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and then one of the weekend days. So it's really going to depend on how heavy my chores are on Saturday. Can I make it as one of my to-dos, or is it going to be part of my rest day? And maybe I just get it done first thing in the morning. But I have a plan of Mondays is arms, Tuesdays is what I call butts and guts. It's part of a class I used to be part of, but we focus on glutes and my gut. And Thursday, I do another butt and gut because that is my problem area on my body. Friday, I do a leg day. And then either Saturday or Sunday, I do a full body workout. So I just go head to toe. I just put together workouts on my little Post-its and get it done. And each time I do 20 minutes of cardio, and I just feel really successful. Today's a butts and guts day after I take my kiddo to the orthodontist, so that'll be fun. I'm still recovering from Tuesday. But everything is just flowing really well, and I wanted to do that update because I'm really excited about it, and I'm just, again, reaping what I sow. I'm really thinking about how things are working for me, what is and what isn't working, and if there is something that's not working, I'm going to pivot, you know. I want to be in a good mind space for everybody, but it kind of starts with being in a good mind space for myself, and I'm remembering that, and that feels really good. So, anywho's, I just wanted to update you guys on how I'm doing. It is about 2:30, so I have to go pick up Mr. Finn. I've barely sipped on my tea. I need to go pick up Finn so I can take him to the orthodontist, but I'm excited for this evening. After I get him, we go to the orthodontist. I can come back. I'm making an amazing tomato tortellini soup. Super easy, tasty. I'm working out tonight, and then I get to work from home tomorrow, which I'm looking forward to that because I just love wearing stretchy pants when I work. This I'm wearing work clothes right now because I got to leave a little early for the kiddo, but wearing stretchy pants when you work is underrated. And I think sometimes people that telework just forget how wonderful it is until they've got to dress up for the office. And that's 4 days of the week for me. So anyways, thank you guys for tuning in and letting me do a little chatty check-in. Sorry it was a little chaotic, but that's my life. And until next time, take care, love always. Bye.